And welcome everyone, a very pleasant good afternoon here live from Gilcone Field, Brevard College. The Tornadoes hosting in the USA South Tournament for the first time in NCAA era history.
Hey, that's what we all been waiting for, right? Got through your season, we're here, we got what we wanted. We wanted to host, we got it, we did it. I'm proud of everybody. Let's get through this game, right? One game at a time, one pitch at a time, then we'll go to the next team.
And he sends a sharp liner into left field. That one's going to drop. Clark in the second. It's a one-out double. Granada in the air. At the wall. It's gone! Granada with a 3-run tank. Pokes out at it. That one's going to drop. Prickle will score the payoff pitch. And he's sent in the air to right field. That one is going to drop in front of the right fielder. Deal for a base hit. Frankie sends one fair down the third base line. Vasquez is going to dig around first, and he will get into second, standing up. And now every team with a loss apiece. Methodist and Pfeiffer will take each other on this afternoon. The loser will be sent home. The winner will take on the Tornadoes here tomorrow afternoon. Winner go home for the Tornadoes against the Pfeiffer Falcons. Lines and deals. One smoke, right field. Pyle is gonna make a diving catch. CP Pyle, what a play! Tornadoes are a strike away from the USA South Championship round. Altschuler, a payoff pitch. Got him looking, strike three! And the Tornadoes are heading to the USA South Championship round. They are heading to the championship round for the first time in program history in the NCAA era.
And welcome to a very special edition of Tornado Talk. Very pleasant good afternoon. Phil de Montmollin joining alongside Brady Penn. That video courtesy of Mitchell Yoder. And on the commentary there was our very own Brady Penn. Brady, exciting times. Ready to talk some baseball with some special guests?
Definitely excited to have the coaches on and then a few of the players as we approach that championship round this weekend, Phil, trying to get it done against the battling Bishops.
Absolutely. Well, just to recap, BC wins the USA South Bracket 2 with wins over Methodist and Pfeiffer, an absolute exciting bracket that took place right here at Gilcone Field on the campus of Brevard College. As a result, the Tornadoes advanced to the USA South Championship Series for the first time in school history, and that is scheduled for Friday and Saturday at NC Wesleyan in Rocky Mount, North Carolina, when the Tornadoes will have a shot to win the USA South Conference Championship. So let's get right to it. We'll invite in the coaching staff of Brevard College baseball into the program, as head coach Mike Victory has joined us, assistant coach Vinny Carone, also assistant coach Steve Huckey. Coach Victory, let's get things started with you. Just sort of overall thoughts coming off the huge weekend at Gilcone Field and then heading to NC Wesleyan this weekend.
It was a good weekend, good team effort. We got what we wanted from our guys, especially backs against the wall after that first loss. They're a good group. They know how to come together under pressure and just play our brand of baseball. And I think that's what they have a lot of faith in, is going out and just doing us. We're excited to get over that hump of getting through the first weekend and, just kind of looking forward to what's next, getting ready this week. And it should be a fun weekend for us.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And Coach Carone, let's go with you next. Your impressions coming off the big weekend.
Yeah, I thought we played well. Still waiting to get all three facets of the game to click. They're close games, and that's what you're going to get in playoff baseball. But I thought our pitching staff did really well. Offense was good at times and came up with clutch hits when we needed them to come up with clutch hits. Hopefully this weekend we can get the bats to kind of get a little hotter, and we can keep that pitching rolling as it has been the last few weeks.
And then Steve Huckey joining us as well, assistant coach here at Brevard College. Unprecedented times here for the program, Coach.
Hey, I tell you what, it's what we started back 5 years ago, and it's great to see things starting to come to the forefront and getting above water and getting ourselves ready to start riding the waves versus trying to keep ourselves from drowning. So I'm excited. This is the best time of the year. So,
Coach Vic, I wanted to touch on the starting pitching and get your perspective of it. These 3 games last weekend, obviously you had Cross come in who hadn't pitched since March, and then you had Tom kind of carry the load until the offense got going in the back half of game 2, and obviously Cameron Cook and Blake Altshuler combining to shut that door in game 3. Talk about how big that starting pitching was for you guys.
I think when you get to playoffs, pitching and defense is what's going to be the most important thing. And our pitchers know that they have to set a tone. They have to come out and throw strike one, and we go from there. When our pitching staff is on, it's a lot of fun to be a part of it. You know, we're not huge strikeout guys. Don't get me wrong. Cam did some things with the baseball that were great, but balls are going to be in play. Guys are going to make plays, and then we come in and hit. So getting that effort from them set a huge tone for us. And they, perform the way that we expect them to perform when they go out on the mound every single time. And I know they have that high expectation for themselves. And there's some great guys that didn't touch the mound too that are ready to come back out and keep doing what we need to do to win baseball games.
Absolutely. And one more thing to add on to that, in game 2 with Jacob Thompson, obviously at the beginning of the game, it looked like the wheels could fall off early on, gave up the leadoff home run and then a base runner or 2 immediately after. And a lot of pitchers in that position, I feel like, would fold and let the pressure get to him. But Thompson just battled back, got a big pick off, and then grinded for 5 or 6 more innings after that. How huge was that, and how resilient is that guy?
I mean, he's been there before. He gets himself into trouble every once in a while early in a game, and he knows how to settle in and get back to work. He's put in a lot of time at practice trying to get himself to where he wants to be. I think never in his life will he ever feel like he's been perfect. And every day he's going to work to get to that point. And you saw some of that come to fruition as he made adjustments in game. That I was laughing because he was struggling. I think the leadoff batter got on the first 3 innings, and I was like, just pitch from the stretch. If I had that thought, I was going to tell it to him. Next inning, he goes out, he's throwing from the stretch, gets the first guy out, throws from the windup, ball 1, back to the stretch. And I was like, all right, good. Like, something I've said to these guys has paid off, and he knows how to make those adjustments and do what he needs to do. I knew taking the ball from him, and when I did, was going to be a struggle. But he had pitched really well for us, and we knew we had guys that could back him up. And I love that competitive spirit that he has and that resilience, because he knew that there were probably guys warming up, but he was like, no, I'm going to keep the ball. I'm going to keep doing what I need to do, and I'm going to get guys out. So I love that from him.
Absolutely. Coach Vinny, want to go over to you real quick. Obviously, the first 14, 15 innings of the tournament, you were kind of lonely over there at first base. You talked about the bats starting off cold. What do you think clicked towards the back half of game 2 and then in game 3 in terms of difference in approach that got you guys more productive ABs and more runs as the series went on?
I think sometimes it's just seeing more pitches. Obviously, you come into a weekend, you haven't seen live pitching sometimes for a full week. We try to get them reps in the midweek with maybe some guys who haven't thrown. But the adrenaline of being in a game again for the first time, and then also obviously the moment is a lot bigger. So it's hard for guys to kind of control their breath and get locked in when they need to be locked in. But as that series progresses, as the tournament progresses, I think guys get more comfortable in those roles and they start to lock their swings in a little bit. I think that's common for all hitters. You look at spring training, it takes them a week or 2 to kind of get going. They're just trying to see pitches. And obviously it's the back end of the season, so guys should be prepared, and we do our best to prepare them, but it's still hard to simulate that moment. And to credit the other pitchers, like Methodist threw really well against us. They pounded the zone, threw a lot of strikes, which they seem to only want to do against us this week. But you still got to tip your cap. Those guys threw well, and we try to battle off pitches, but I think just seeing more pitches as the weekend progressed. And it's really just a matter of time before some of those guys like Kale, Frankie do damage. And we came up with big swings when we needed to. And I think a lot of it is just getting settled into the moment, getting a little bit more comfortable, and just getting back to what they need to do and what they do best, which is not taking too big of swings. And I think that's really what the change was the second half of the weekend.
Absolutely. Coach Huckey, I want to wrap it up with you. So for those of you that don't know, I caught some flack from Coach Huckey before game 1 because in one of the last regular season games, I said something about it was the most athletic play I'd seen Coach Huckey make over there in the third base coach's box. And I guess he said he's got more in the tank than that. But so throughout the course of the weekend, Coach, we were scrutinizing your defense very closely up in the booth. And I just want to say I went back and watched, and it was superb Gold Glove level defense by you over there.
Yeah, I can smell it when I can hear it. So, I know what's coming from right here. But, yeah, no, I mean, I just try to keep myself in the game. On top of what Vinny said, I think our guys started realizing that we're not bigger than the moment. We just need to play in the moment. And I saw an attitude switch, a change, and a calmness that I think they, for the most part, I think they felt like they had a chance that we're going to win the ball games and get it and move on. And I saw that kind of as the games went. And of course, we talked about it all the time in the dugout and prior to the games, but I just saw, a different kind of a look and attitude from the guys as the games progressed. And I think they started realizing, we can do this. We have a chance to make something special happen. And it was fun to see that transformation happen.
100%. I think we all saw that composure from the offense and from the team as a whole. It was really cool to see. And as a result, you guys are in championship weekend.
Yeah. Yep.
Indeed. Coach Victory, what a weekend it was. And would love to discuss a little bit a 9 a.m. start for the championship game and just what that took for the program altogether. One, to make sure that the field was going to be in good enough shape to get the game off with all sorts of weather in the area and that kind of thing. But just the idea of, hey, it's 9 a.m. Come on, guys, we got to get this done, and we're gonna win this game because the stakes are that high.
Yeah, I think the most important thing was to play, and I think the guys were on that. I had one of the seniors say that he checked something off his bucket list, which was a 6:30 a.m. alarm for a home game. So we got them breakfast. We got there, and all of them said it, right? Like, they played travel ball their whole lives, and that's what travel ball tournaments are, rolling out of bed and going to play early morning games. So I think they were more prepared for it than you would anticipate when we're normally playing at 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock, things like that. I don't know. As a toddler parent, it was the best. Like, we rolled out of bed. My kid wasn't even at his nap yet. Had a whole day together. I thought it was a lot of fun for them. And I think for our guys, it was just, let's play baseball now. Let's not think about it all day. Let's not worry about it all day. It's 9 a.m. We got a baseball. Let's go. And once first pitch is thrown, it could be any time of day. They're just ready to go. But it worked out for us. And I thought the guys were well prepared to do what they had to do, even for an early morning.
Yeah, and then a big part of that game, series clinching, bracket clinching performance versus Pfeiffer, the pitching, of course. We saw Cameron Cook as the starter, USA South all-sportsmanship team honoree. And then some breaking news today, Blake Altshuler, who earned the save in his first collegiate relief appearance, D3Baseball.com National Team of the Week honoree. Coach Vinny, we'd love to hear from you as far as those two, how they come up big in the big moments.
Yeah, I think they're both examples of team first guys who made the most of an opportunity that they got. Cam obviously wasn't a starter at the beginning of the year. Connor Crosby was not really our third starter, but the other part of the rotation that went missing midpoint of the conference play. And Cam Cook stepped in and in a big situation right away and has been great for us in that starting role and continued that obviously in the playoffs this past weekend. And then Blake Altshuler was kind of on the back end of that now. Cam Cook threw so well, and obviously being a senior, you kind of ride with that guy when Connor Crosby came back for the playoffs. And Blake wasn't even sure if he would throw this weekend, especially when we lose game one. You're not sure what your role is going to be in. He came into Saturday knowing that if he's going to pitch, it's going to be in relief, and it might be to send us to the conference championship. And so he was very prepared for that role. And I think he had some experience this past summer playing in collegiate summer leagues as well. So we had confidence in him, and it's just a team first guy. He never complained about it. Cam Cook, same way, never complained about it. Just understood that they need to do what's best for the team. And for those circumstances, it was coming out of the pen and then making the most of the opportunity they got. So super proud of both of them for just being good teammates and team players who are going to do whatever they can do to help the team win and then performing when they do get their number called.
Couple more awards since we last caught up here on Tornado Talk. The all-conference teams. We mentioned Cameron Cook, USA South all-sportsmanship team, but Frankie Vasquez, a first-team all-conference performer, and Cale Ayler, a second-team all-conference performer. Coach Huckey, these two in the middle of the lineup, awfully dangerous for an opponent's pitching staff to have to deal with.
Yeah, I think what sets them up for the success that they've had is, we get CP or Granada or Morty, and Logan, they get themselves on base quite often, and they can run a little bit, and so they got them in the back of their mind on the bases, and I think it lets Kale and Frankie kind of settle in a little bit, because they got to make a decision, especially in tough ball game. Are we going to pitch around Kale and roll the dice with Frankie, or are we going to try to get Kale and see if we can get Frankie as well too, and it makes it tough for a pitcher, especially if it's a situation where maybe he's walked a couple guys or maybe hit a couple guys or get a couple hits. All of a sudden now, you give up a 3-run home run or a double in the gap, and when those two guys, it's a whole different complexion in the ball game. And I think that having those two guys there, that we all know that any given time the ball could be hit 400 feet. So it's like, in the anticipation, I think when they come up to the plate with the guys in the dugout, that some big things are going to happen. And, sometimes they press themselves into situations where they maybe get a little bigger than the moment. And sometimes they get themselves a little caught off guard. But then they seem to come back at the right time and the right moments when it really matters, and to make that difference. And I know both of them did that. They both had some really key hits this weekend for us, and stepped up as upperclassmen should. So, it's tough for an opponent to pitch against our lineup.
Yeah, but no doubt about that. We're going to bring in a couple of the student athletes from the baseball program who are headed to Rocky Mount, North Carolina later this week for the USA South Conference Championship Series. Coach Victory, please introduce these two to NATO Nation even further. Most of our viewers, I'm sure, are familiar with these two, but would love to hear from your perspective.
They're just two leaders. They're both our captains. Logan's had to do it for 2 years. Hayden's been a leader in his own right since he stepped on campus as well. They have to deal with me, more than anybody else does, and answer my questions, and sit and talk with me. And I know that can be tough for them sometimes, but they also go out and play and work hard every single day at practice. They set a tone for everyone in the program as to what the expectation is as the best players in our program. So I love having them around, and when it comes to these moments, you see who they really are come playoff time. And I think that's one of the coolest things is your best players, your most mature players have to step up in those biggest moments. And I think you see that when these guys are on the field and the way that they perform. So I love having them around and knowing that they're in the lineup and ready to do damage at any point in time.
One last one for you, Coach Victory, before we let you go. Later in the show, we're going to have Jock Pledger and also Tristan Robinson on the program as well. I would love for you to, tell NATO Nation a little bit about those two and how important they've been to the program.
Yeah, I think what's fun about them is that they've been here since day one. When we walked on campus as a coaching staff, they were there, and they've been there from the first win to where we are now. They've seen a lot of different things. They've been a part of a lot of big games. Traub caught the first playoff win. Jock has scored more game-winning runs probably than anyone else in the last 5 years, if I had to guess. So they've seen a lot of different things for this program, and they've continued to stick with it as role guys that have just wanted to see things get better and better over the course of time here. So I've loved having them around, and who they are as people are just tremendous people. And as they're heading off into the real world here soon, they're definitely going to be missed.
Outstanding. Well, we look forward to that conversation as well. Head coach Mike Victory, assistant coach Vinny Carone, assistant coach Steve Huckey. Thanks so much for joining this special edition of Tornado Talk. Best of luck in Rocky Mount. We'll see you around Brevard College's campus when you get back.
Thanks, Bill. Thanks Brady.
Thanks, Bill.
All right, there they go. And as coach helped introduce these two captains for Brevard College baseball, Logan Clark in our bottom right location. How are you, Logan?
Great. How are you?
Doing great. And also with us, Hayden Jennings. Great to have Hayden aboard on this special edition of Tornado Talk. How you doing today, Hayden?
Good. How are you?
Doing great. Well, Logan, let's start with you. Can you describe that feeling when you guys were able to secure this berth in the championship series with that final out against Pfeiffer?
Yeah, I was just feeling electricity go through my body. I I hadn't experienced something like that since last time we had been in playoffs. So, I mean, it was great, and I've been, like Vic said, been here since the beginning and seen this program go flip 180 degrees. So, I'm very excited to see where the program can go and what we got in store for the championship series here.
Yeah, big time performance this past weekend, and I know you guys are laser focused on the championship series ahead. Hayden, can you sum up from your perspective what it was like, clinching this opportunity, and now, how you guys are doing this week heading into the big series at NC Wesleyan?
Yeah, just like Logan said, I mean, that's kind of an experience and a feeling that you only get really once a year when you make it to this kind of game, and it's crazy. It's just electricity, as Logan put it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Brady, I know you've seen these two perform throughout your broadcasting career.
Absolutely. Hayden, I'm gonna keep it right here with you. I was talking to Hayden and some of the other guys the other night. We were talking about the jump that Hayden has made at the plate. Obviously, last year kind of had a bit of a sophomore slump, was putting the bat on the ball, but wasn't seeing quite the results that you wanted to. But this year, the hitting has come along. But Coach Victory mentioned the word leader, and Hayden was telling me the other night, Phil, that last year he said, I don't care. You could put me in the 9-hole. I just want to catch. I just want to contribute behind the plate, calling pitches. And to me, I don't think that everybody in college baseball would be like that. I think it'd be, okay, I'm not hitting, so what's the point? Or I'm at the bottom of the order, so what's the point? But this guy, I mean, there's a reason he's a captain. He's a leader on this team. But I'm going to give him a chance here to talk about that jump and that growth here in his junior year himself.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we were talking the other night. It was kind of crazy because every year we have fall inter squads and stuff, and I finally had gotten a little bit of confidence back, and I was hitting, pretty well. And then we get into the season, some issues happen. I started at third base, and I hadn't played third base in a long time, and I feel like it just kind of snowballed for me there at the early part of last year. And then just a couple big time games where I caught Jacob. I would do all I can to really do the scouting reports on every team we played. Some games like Cortland that didn't go our way. The midweek win at Piedmont was a big one. Just all the playoff games and all the games that I caught Jacob. I just wanted to help our team win because I knew we had a squad, but, obviously I wasn't producing and, in the box, but anything that I could do to help us win is what I was trying to do. So, and, this year I feel like I've gotten a lot of confidence back in the box. Coach Vinny helped me a lot with my mentality and having a routine every time I get in the hole and on deck before I go into the box. And I've kind of just let everything go and just, be myself when I get up to the plate this year.
Absolutely. And Hayden, we talked about this a little bit too, but that home run that you had in that second game against Pfeiffer, it up in the box, it looked for sure like it was hooking foul. I want your point of view and your perspective from the time it came off the bat till either when you saw it land or when you saw the umpire giving the signal.
Yeah, so the at bat before that, I faced the same guy. I told myself to be patient, and I watched a pitch that I probably should have hit. So when I got back up there the next day, I saw he was still on the mound. I was like, okay, I'm on him. I know what he throws. I saw a fastball, middle, upper end, and I swung, and it was probably the most flush barrel I think I've caught all year. Off the bat, I knew it was fair. I saw it started right at the cages. My only question was, if the umpires were going to call a foul, but I thought it was fair off the bat. And I took the bat with me to first base a little bit. And once I saw there was no chance they were calling it foul, I dropped it and I just started running before they even made a call.
100%. It was a big home run in game 2. Ended up being pretty crucial. Now, Logan, I want to go over to you. Obviously, me and you both came in the same year. So I've seen you and your individual progression with this program. You talked about being here from the start. Can you expand on that just a little bit and kind of where the program was when you got here and how it steadily climbed to the peak that we've reached to this point, being in the championship round here in 2024?
Yeah, so I mean, when I got here as a freshman, it was kind of stepping in and just helping where I could and trying to mesh myself with the team and getting adapted to the college lifestyle a little bit. But I mean, we started off my freshman year winning way more games than we had any other year, so it was already a shell shock. And I guess once we started having that winning mentality, we just never stopped and slowly recruited better and better guys and started to have a squad where now this senior year we got 1 through 9 or 1 through 25 on our roster guys who step in the box and do everything they can not to get out and give the pitcher and the other team the hardest time they can. And I think that's what makes us great. We're scrappy and we do anything we can to get as many runs up on the board and hopefully get one step closer to a ring.
Definitely. And once again, going back to that leadership point that Coach Victory was talking about, we pointed to it with Hayden. But for you, obviously, you've been put in a couple different spots in the lineup this year. You've been in that leadoff spot. You've been in that normal 3-hole. And like I said, you kind of had to replace Blake Burchett in that leadoff spot for the longest time. Eventually, Lucas Granada being put there. And then we've had some other shifts, CP Pile up there now. Can you talk about that flexibility of yours and kind of going wherever Vic tells you to go, whether that's batting first, batting third, batting fourth, whatever it may be?
Yeah, so, I mean, we were kind of needing to fill a few holes at the beginning of the season. And, I mean, we've now found out the method to the madness and kind of what works a little bit. But I always told Vic, I'm down to hit wherever I can and be in the lineup anywhere where I can contribute. So, I mean, hitters hit. It don't matter where you're at. You just 1 through 9, we got dudes that can swing it. So we found our fire and we're ready to go.
Absolutely.
Couple more from the baseball perspective, fellas. Logan, Brady mentioned CP Pile. You had a close-up view of that incredible catch he had there in the 9th inning. Can you describe what that was like and just what kind of teammate he's been for you out there in the outfield? Oh
yeah, I mean, he's been a great addition to the outfield. He's come from a JUCO out of a lot of experience, and he came in and he's a quick little guy. I didn't even know he was playing that far over when he caught that ball. So I thought he was getting down all day, and then I just see him fly out of nowhere and catch it. So I was especially surprised, but he's a great team guy, and he's fit in very well with the program.
Well, all of the outfielders, yourself included, Logan, have made plays like that, throughout the years at Gilcone Field, and just fantastic to see that in such a clutch situation. Hayden, we spoke to the coaches a little bit about the pitching performance over the weekend. Obviously, you and your fellow catchers, a big part of that equation, as well as the battery made of those pitchers. What a performance by the guys all 3 games.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, whenever our back's against the wall, there's a few guys we count on, those being, Jacob, Cross, Cam, Blake, all those guys, all the bullpen guys too. And I think it's big for them guys to step up whenever our bats aren't, producing like we wanted to. Like we kind of sleptwalk through game 1, but the pitchers have been picking us up a lot of the year. And when they don't do good, we pick them up. And it's just a great dynamic, and it worked out in our favor.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Logan, what's going to be the key heading into this weekend? Obviously, a huge history-making opportunity for Brevard College, and we saw these teams match up earlier this season. BC taking 2 out of 3 versus NC Wesleyan. But what's going to be the key, and what are you guys talking about as far as what the mentality is going to have to be this weekend?
Yeah, so I think we want a similar mentality as last time, where we're kind of just simple approaches, and 1 through 9, everyone does everything they can not to get out. It doesn't matter if you're getting hit by a pitch, walked, or you're driving in a run. So, I mean, that's our basic approach, is scoring as many runs as possible and having our pitchers absolutely dominate their lineup. And I think we'll get the same outcome as we did last time.
Hayden, anything to add to that?
I think the biggest thing for us is just going out there and playing loose. I mean, we have nothing to lose. USA South ranked us a little bit lower at the start of the year, and us and Wesleyan are the last 2 standing, so why not us?
Very good. Logan Clark, headed towards graduation, correct? Tell us a little bit about the degree you'll be collecting and what you've been working on during your academic career here at BC.
Yeah, so I'm majoring with a business major and a coaching minor, and I'm planning to start my own construction company. And just keep working towards that and gaining licenses to eventually start my own company.
Outstanding. Congratulations on that. Hayden, catch us up on what you've been working on academically here at BC.
Just like Logan, I'm also a business major, but I'm an exercise science minor. I just wrapped up my junior year academically, so that's about all so far.
Very good. Last one before we let you guys know, it's a tradition here at Tornado Talks. I want to give you the opportunity. Logan, you got any shout outs for us?
Yeah, I got a shout out for my mom. Happy birthday. And for my friends and family supporting and everyone rooting for us in the championship. I'm excited to see what we can do.
Hayden?
Just shout out my teammates, my coaches, and my parents.
Very good. Brady, a final word for these two before we let them go?
Just want to wish you guys the best of luck this weekend, man. Let it rip and let it all lay out there. And obviously, you guys know this from last weekend, but if things don't go the way that you envision at the start of the game, don't be deterred and just stick with it.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Very
Appreciate
good. Well, Logan Clark, Hayden Jennings, congrats on all the memories you've created so far for NATO Nation. Can't wait to see what's next beginning on Friday this weekend at NC Wesleyan. Congratulations. Best of luck moving forward. Thanks for joining the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, there they go. We're going to switch gears and bring in two more baseball student athletes as join the program now. And Tristan Robinson and Jock Pledger are backstage, so we'll effort getting them onto the show. Brady, I know you're looking forward to this conversation, Tristan and Jock.
Yeah, absolutely. Traub's a guy that I've gotten to know a little bit better over the last couple of years, having some CRJ classes with him. And Jock, I mean, we go way back. I've known Jock since I was 14 or 15 years old, both over at Walnut Grove High School in Loganville, Georgia. We're both Warrior alumni and now both soon to be Tornado alumni, which is pretty cool. Being able to have Jock as my teammate, my buddy with me along the way over these past 7-8 years and seeing all that he's been able to accomplish here in a NATO uniform, both on the gridiron and the diamond.
Yeah, as we continue to get them settled backstage. Brady, you got the chance to broadcast this series over the weekend. I handled the games not involving Brevard College. You handled all the Tornado games. Have you been able to sort of put in perspective exactly what this team did this past weekend now that a couple days have passed?
Yeah, absolutely. I know I told you before the show, I was thinking about it, like how special that last game was. But like we said, and like the coaches said, resiliency and just composure was what struck out to me the most. Obviously, things didn't go at all the way that the NATOs or we wanted up in the press box in game one. Obviously, the team, there was some frustration up in the press box. Even as the announcer, there was some frustration for me just knowing the potential and the capabilities of this team. But then they had a quick turnaround next morning, 11 a.m., got it done. Got a little tight there at the end, but got it done and set up a winner-take-all. And, last year after falling short, it was another test for them and another winner-take-all game. And they passed with flying colors, obviously got the lead early on, got dazzling pitching performance from Cameron Cook and Blake Altshuler. And it obviously culminated in them clinching a spot in the championship series, which hasn't been done. So just super excited, super fired up for those guys and hoping that we can get two more and get some hardware.
Yeah, and we've been talking about the pitching a bunch, but I don't think it could be emphasized enough, Brady. I mean, Connor Crosby, first time we had seen him in action after several weeks off due to injury and in his performance. Then, Jacob Thompson, of course, coming up big. And then that 1-2 combo of Cameron Cook and Blake Altshuler. Heading into the NC Wesleyan series, we were talking a little bit off the air. What a strength that the Tornadoes bring on the pitching side of things.
Absolutely. I mean, they got in 3 games, 19 innings pitched from the 3 starters. That included 6 from Crosby, who hadn't pitched since late March. For innings, a 4-run ball, even if it did end up being a loss for the team, was just phenomenal and a great sign of encouragement heading into this weekend. And then obviously we saw what Tomp and Cam both did, and Altshuler coming in and closing the door with some help from his defense as well. Like you said, we saw the CP pile catch. We saw a few really nice plays out there defensively. One that I think kind of gets overlooked, I just want to shout out, was the Logan Sawyer, the glove flip over to first. For those that don't remember, it was maybe the 6th or 7th inning. It was a slow roller over to second with Pfeiffer threatening, and Logan Sawyer scooped it up with his glove, realized he wasn't going to have time to exchange with his hand, and just flipped it out of the glove to first and got the out by this much. And that ended up keeping the Tornadoes in the lead and proved to be really valuable as the game went on.
Yeah, those little plays that don't necessarily make the highlight reel or the box score necessarily, but that's what it takes, to win championships. And the Tornadoes will have an opportunity this weekend. Well, we're joined now by Jock Pledger. Great to have Jock on board. And Brady, I know you've been looking forward to speaking with Jock. We'll let you kick things off.
I mean, I don't know. I might be kind of tired of talking to this guy. I talk to him pretty often, but no. All jokes aside, man, I'm super pumped for you, dude. Trob, I'm pumped for you as well. But Jock, I know I've seen it up close for, like I told Phil, the last 7-8 years, bro. Your athletic journey, your career, you've done a whole lot here at BC, and now you got a chance with 2 more wins to add a ring to that. And I couldn't be more proud of you, man.
Man, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, and great to have with us also Tristan Robinson. Welcome to the show, Tristan. We might be having some audio trouble with you there, Tristan, so we'll hang with you here and get you settled as well. But Jock Pledger, great to have you with us again. Just when we say never, right? We probably said, hey, this will be the final Tornado talk in your illustrious career as a student athlete here, Jock. We got you back here, and it's as part of this baseball team. What a run the Tornadoes are in the middle of here, heading to NC Wesleyan. Can you kind of put it in perspective, what this team has been all about and, just how big it was this past weekend to clinch to get to this spot that we're in now?
I mean, it was very big. I mean, this whole team is kind of close-knit. We're like one big family. And I think that's the difference between the past years. We're all playing for each other, not for ourselves. And we all want to succeed and we all want to be great. And, I mean, from where I came from 5 years ago to where we are now, it's crazy how it happens, going from being a 5-18 team, COVID hitting, to now being in a conference championship and hosting, and that's like it doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And Jock Pledger, just an incredible career, both on the football field, but also on the baseball diamond as well. And exciting that you're part of this. And, you won the John McKissick Award at the Best Bees this past week. Congratulations on that as well. Now we're joined by Tristan Robinson. Tristan, how you doing this afternoon? Great to have you on the show.
I'm doing great. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So we're just talking to Jock about it. Can you sum up, what it meant for this team, this program to clinch that series this past weekend, and then obviously where you guys are at heading to NC Wesleyan this upcoming weekend?
Yeah. So when I first got here, we were like 2-10 starting the season before COVID hit. We were like, thank God this is over. Over the years we've gotten better and better, and I was really happy for these guys who have been working hard and working on the weight room and working on the field. So it's been great to see.
Trob, keeping it with you, obviously you had an injury this season and haven't really been able to be out there as much as you have in the past. But with that being said, I always see you at the foot of the dugout. I always see you up and fired up and with energy. And talk about how important that is. Maybe I talked about the leadership of Jennings and Clark earlier, but from you, not everybody would be that way. If it was their 5th year and they had an injury and couldn't play, they might be like, oh, I'm just going to sit in the back and kind of watch and see what happens. But you stay engaged and you keep these guys fired up. Talk about how important that is.
So, yeah, I'm just trying to enjoy the little bit I have left. These guys look up to me a lot, This has been a great ride, and I'm just ready to see what they can do. And, yeah.
100%. And obviously, you're a catcher. You're a big backstop guy. Can you talk about the impact that the 2 catchers that we've seen this season, Hayden Jennings, who we had on earlier, and Kenny Pridmore, have had both behind the dish and at the plate hitting?
Oh, yeah, they've been great this year. It's unfortunate I couldn't be there with them, but they've been great, working in the bullpen, working on their frame and block and everything, throwing. They've been really good this year, and I'm really happy for them.
Of course. Jock, back over to you. Obviously, this is your last athletic event as a Tornado, this series this weekend, and Phil kind of alluded to how much you've done. Obviously, I got to see it up close as your football teammate and then broadcasting the baseball games and somehow finding a way to shout you out every baseball game even when you're not in the lineup. But just as it comes to a close, have you thought back and reflected on your career and your time here and the fact that it's almost up?
To be honest, I really haven't had time to just sit back and reflect and think about it, because I feel like that's something I want to do when it's all over. But like, it has been a great career. I made a lot of friends, great relationships. I've become the person I am today, and that's all to Brevard College. So
And for those of you that don't know, Jock was probably a good 80% of the reason I came to Brevard, mainly because I didn't know that Brevard existed until Jock signed there at the end of my junior year, the end of his senior year. We had the celebration. I was like, where in the world is Brevard College? And found out it was this little mountain school. A few months later, came up here for a football visit. Loved it. Loved the coaches. Knew that I had my guy here. And obviously, 4 years later, me and Jock are both nearing the end here on BC campus.
Yeah, amazing run for you guys as well as Tristan. All the student athletes here at Brevard College. Lots of reasons to be proud, no doubt. Tristan, a couple more on the baseball side before we move on to a couple other topics, then let you guys go. The catchers have a unique role when it comes to working with the pitching staff and making sure they succeed. And boy, did the pitching staff succeed this past weekend. 3 big performances each of the 3 days from a variety of pitchers for the Tornadoes. What did you notice this past weekend from the pitching staff? And tell us a little more from your perspective.
Well, I noticed that they trust us a lot. They know what we're doing, and they believe in our pitch calling. And I think that's what really been helping us lately from getting calls and getting outs.
Yeah, no doubt. And Jock, Coach mentioned you're a big part of several game-winning, finishes, walk-offs, that kind of things throughout your career. You've crossed that home plate many times, and we often see you in maybe a pinch runner role or a late game substitution, that kind of thing. But you have this knack for bringing home the runs. Can you tell us, is there an art to that? How does that happen so often for you?
I don't know how it happens. I just know at some point in the game, me and Coach Fit look at each other, and that look is like, hey, man, get ready. It's your time. And so I just take it and run with it. And that's about it.
Jock, tell us a little bit academically. You're a graduate student here at Brevard College. Catch us up where you're at with all that.
So I'll be graduating with my master's degree in health and human performance. More focused on the strength and conditioning side. And I planned after I graduate to go into coaching and go coach at high schools, coach football and baseball.
Outstanding. Well, congratulations on the upcoming degree. Congrats on just an incredible career, both baseball and football. And can't wait to see what you guys have in store for this weekend in the championship series. Tristan, catch us up on what you've been working on academically here in your Brevard College career and what the degree is going to be in.
Yeah, so I'm getting my degree in criminal justice, and after I graduate, I'm going to go be in probation and parole and hopefully work my way up and get on a task force somewhere. So that's the plan.
Outstanding. Congratulations on that. It was great having you as a member of the COM 290 Sports Media and Broadcasting class this semester as well. So thanks for your participation there. Also, before we let you guys know, the drill. Shout outs. Jock, you got any for us?
I just like to thank all my friends and family for the support and all the love they give me. And I just like to thank God as well for putting me in the situation that I am today.
Very good. Tristan, shout outs?
Yeah, I shout my family, all my friends, coaches. I appreciate y'all.
Outstanding. Well, best of luck on behalf of all of us at Brevard College with the big championship series this weekend at NC Wesleyan. Can't wait to see you guys in action there and see what's next. Brady, have a final word for these two?
I just want to say I'm proud of both of you guys. Obviously, Traub, I got to know you a little bit later in my college career, but it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure watching all you guys out on the diamond. Hope we can get 2 more. And as for Jock, obviously, I'm going to see you around, one of my good buddies. But once again, proud of you, bro, and excited to see what you're going to do past Brevard.
Very good. Well, great to have both of you on the show. Thanks for joining us on this special edition of Tornado Talk. Jock Pledger and Tristan Robinson. Best of luck this weekend at NC Wesleyan.
Thank you, Phil.
Thank you.
All right. Well, Brady, That wraps up this special edition of Tornado Talk as we talk all things baseball this time around. What an opportunity for the team. Do want to note graduation here at Brevard College. Commencement is going to take place on Saturday morning. The baseball team naturally will be in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. There will be a special graduation ceremony, commencement ceremony, exclusively for the members of the baseball team who are graduating at the Porter Center at 11 a.m. on Monday. So we'll look forward to that. Brady, you will be amongst the grads on Saturday. Congratulations there. Would love for you to sort of put a bow on your time here at Brevard College. Let folks know what you're up to next as well.
Absolutely. Well, man, it's 3 years has flown by. I'm sure you remember back when I emailed you about getting into the sports broadcasting scene a couple years back, and it's been everything I could have asked for, man. We've gotten to see together some women's basketball playoff wins for the first time. We see the baseball team in the championship round for the first time. We got to call a 3 overtime thriller on the football field together. It's just been a ton of great memories. I give you a bunch of thanks. I give Joseph Marvin a bunch of thanks, and I'm really going to miss calling games here every weekend for BC. But as for what's next, I'll be going to 680 The Fan to intern this summer, down working with the Braves, the Falcons, the Hawks, all that kind of stuff, and kind of trying to climb my way up there. A few other potential opportunities for me in the media realm, but we'll just have to wait and see what God has in store for me. And all in all, I just want to say I'm super, super thankful for all the memories, all the opportunities that I've gotten while here as a student broadcaster and media personality, quote unquote, at Brevard College.
Well, you've done a great job throughout your years here, Brady. Big time congratulations. Can't wait to see you and the family on Saturday at commencement. Can't wait to see what's next. The radio station Brady was referring to, the biggest sports talk radio station in the Atlanta market. So, look forward to you working with all those properties there as well. Well, it's been great working with you, Brady, but it's been great also witnessing this Brevard College baseball team. Maybe a final thought on, what makes this team so special, you think, this year, Brady?
Man, these guys just get after it. And I know that we've had some, or at least I've had some concerns at times throughout the year when they might have hit a bump in the road. But at the end of the day, in the back of my mind, I knew that this team was full of resilient guys, full of experienced guys. Obviously, Frankie Vasquez, Kale Ayler, Logan Clark, Lucas Granada, CP Pyle, all these guys, they're all upperclassmen. They've all been here before. And I think that they've let last year's kind of heartbreaking end of the season fuel them. And I think that when adversity has struck, they've kind of remembered that moment in the back of their minds. But it's just a group of guys that gets after it, like I said. And I think that they're really going to give Wesleyan a shock this weekend. I think if Wesleyan is taking Brevard baseball lightly at all, then they'll be in for a rude awakening.
Yeah, it's so much a culmination to this point. I know there's plenty more to come in future years as well, of what Coach Victory and his staff has been working towards all this time. This is his group of guys, and so forth. So it's been really exciting to watch the program grow. We had a bunch of recent alums stop by the press box. Some of them, came on the air with us as of late. And, without their contributions, I don't think, this year's team would be heading towards this sort of success as well. So I want to, thank all the alumni of Brevard College baseball for creating this standard, for this year's team and in remaining active as well. It's been great to have them on board also. Well, we'll keep a close eye on all the action at Rocky Mount, North Carolina this weekend as the Tornadoes will take on NC Wesleyan, with the winner being crowned the USA South Conference champion. It's a best-of-3 series scheduled to be played on Friday and Saturday. We are keeping a little bit of an eye on some weather potentially, so the schedule might be adjusted a little bit. Just stay tuned to all your typical outlets here where you follow the BC Tornadoes. Final word from you, Brady, before we sign off?
Just want to thank you and Joseph and the entire SID department. I want to thank my football coaches at my time here as a student athlete, Coach Kyatt, Coach Bayless, all the guys, my teammates. I want to thank my family for supporting me all the way. And like Jock said, most of all, I want to thank God for just this amazing journey and all the blessings that he's brought me.
Outstanding. Well, great work, Brady. Great to have the baseball team heading towards the championship series. Best of luck to the Tornadoes. And I'll let you take us out, Brady, because I know you've got, a signature call or two in your back pocket. Why don't you say so long to NATO Nation and wrap up this special edition for us?
Absolutely. Well, it's been a blast. We're looking forward to seeing what the NATOs do this weekend. Alongside me, Phil de Montmollin, I'm Brady Penn. Until next time.